Welcome to RaceSpotTV and another edition of Monday Night UK&I Skip Barber series in association with the Calm Zone. Tonight we're at Virginia International Raceway in Virginia, USA, or Alton as the area is called. It's the biggest track that we go to on the circuit. It's got 17 turns on one track map, 17 and 19 on another, so you can do whatever you want, but it's a long racetrack, well over 2 minutes lap times, and the field today is about 40 cars. We're coming to the end of qualifying here. Cars are on their last couple of laps, and it's currently Leah Hughes in the lead ahead of Tom Ward and Simon Edwards. Last week's winner, Adam Miles, all the way down in 10th. Coming to you tonight is myself, Linus Brostrom, along with Tyler Maxim, doing the cameras and co-commentating, so hopefully we're in for a good race here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully we're in for a good race here tonight on RaceSpotTV for the UK&I Monday Night Skippys. This is going to be a fun race at the Virginia International Raceway. This is probably one of the longer tracks that these guys will go to this season, and it's definitely high speed to say the least.
It really is. Got the back straight, which is really long. I think also one of the longest on the circuit. And a pretty long front straightaway. We got the S's and the little sweeping left rights coming all the way up to the oak tree as well, which is pretty much flat out, so a lot of drafting and overtaking opportunities there as well. And then a couple of really big braking points where you're probably going to see some dives, especially come towards the end of the race. So you've taken out some of the worst corners you can have on this layout, but it's still going to be some very hard braking zones. So Simon Edwards just completed his last qualifying effort, so he's not going to be in pole position, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, so drivers just now finishing up their qualifying here today, and we'll wait to get your final starting grid for this event. We're pretty much halfway through the season now in the UK&I Monday Night Skippys. And this, like you said, is going to be an insane draft track. This is going to be one of those wild card nights where really you may see some drivers who have never won here before be able to win tonight just due to the nature of this circuit, because they're flat out pretty much from the time that you get out of the kind of the first sector. You're pretty much flat out till Oak Tree again, and then from Oak Tree it's flat out all the way down the long straightaway. Look for some mistakes in Oak Tree tonight that cost drivers a lot of time heading down that long back straightaway, with them just not being able to get the run out of the corner. They are going to be a sitting duck in these Skip Barber cars.
Yeah, the exit from that oak tree is going to be vital. As you can see now, the last car coming around the lap here, coming out of the oak tree. If you get that exit right, you're going to have so much speed coming down a straightaway. But if you get it wrong, you're going to be in a very bad position. I believe that is actually Tom Ward that we're following here down the straightaway. Might be Daniel. No, it's Tom Ward. He's coming into the last bit of corners here. See what he can do. He's still got about a minute and a half to finish his lap off, but I think that's going to be enough. It's actually Daniel Tufts that we're following. I'm getting... Okay, so Tom Ward is behind Tufts. Sorry about that, but here he comes out of the last couple of corners, and it's not going to be an improvement for him, is it? It's going to be close. Start finish line here is so late. He's actually going to improve 2/100ths of a second. He had a good exit there of the last corner, as Tom Ward behind him comes over the line as well, and he is not going to improve, so he's going to stay in second. And I believe that's everybody done for qualifying here today.
It's everybody for the most part done with qualifying. We got 50 seconds left now until we get going on the starting grid here for tonight's race. We have, I think we have 12 laps on offer tonight here from the VIR circuit. The lap time is right in about the 2:06 to 2:07 range for these cars, so they're definitely not the fastest that are out there in the world, but they do get around here quite quickly. So this race will be anywhere from about 25 to 30 minutes for those of you that are wondering. And we should have live timing up as soon as the race gets going on RaceSpotTV /timing.
Time's running out on qualifying though. Everybody has made it around, and only 34 cars has put down a time, but we're going to be 41 cars on the grid. So let's go through your starting grid then. It's going to be Leo on pole position, Tom Ward in second, Simon Edwards in third with Ewan Pattinson in fourth. Closely followed by Chris J. Robertson in fifth, Anthony P.M. Jones in sixth, Ben Daniels in seventh, and James McRitchie in P number 8. It's Matt Cox P number 9, Michael Fiedler in P10, Adam Miles last week's winner in P11, and then Nicholas Vaughan Roberts in P12. Behind him we have Lee Anderson and Clark Williams, 2 cars in 7th row who are pretty quick. Expect to see them racing up through the field. Tufts and Watson behind them, and Daryl Taylor, Christopher Miles, Simon Maltby and Matt Hannigan in P20. The rest of the grid is up on your screen. 41 cars taken to the track, like I said, so going to be a pretty packed field, but for such a long track, I think we can expect them to spread out fairly quickly.
Yeah, we can definitely expect them to spread out fairly quickly here in VIR. We're just getting now ready for the end of this, and we'll be ready to go racing here from VIR. It'll be Lear Hughes on the pole position here. He will have an ever-charging field, though, behind him, ready to pounce and try and take over that top spot from him. And to be honest with you, anything can happen in this race. We've seen draft tracks like this have incredibly big toes, and we get ready to go green, and we go green here from VIR.
Everybody going pretty much single file straight away here. Good launch from everybody, but it's going to be Leah Hughes holding on to the lead. Tom Ward is going to have a bit of a look up the inside, but it's not going to be close enough. There comes Robertson up the inside of Pattinson coming into turn 1, and he's actually going to go up to P number 4 straight away, and he's going to have him cleared as well. Some more cars going side by side, a couple of 3 whites back in the pack, but nobody is going in the grass in the first couple of corners as we're coming into NASCAR Bend here for the first time. We've got 1 car in the back going off. I believe that's Daniel Tufts getting a bit in the grass, but he's back on the track, so no real issue there. He's just going to drop back about 5 or 6 positions as we have a big dive behind him as well. Cars stacking up a bit, but everybody seems to have gotten through that last sector pretty well as we're heading up to Snake for the first time.
Yeah, everybody getting through there well, and as we head up through the uphill S's here from VIR, you'll see it's Lear Hughes leading from Tom Ward from Simon Edwards. Everyone just one massive train as of now here, and I think we can expect that to stay that way for a few laps at least, until we get somebody that has some sort of major incident or a big half spin. That's really when we usually see fields get spread out, and that's not a hard thing to do here at VIR.
Definitely isn't, and all these cars stacked together. I believe the top 20 at least are in one big group. Daniel Tufts is actually retired now for some reason. See if I can figure out what happened there. I think he just pulled off the track, being well off the pace. So the top 20 cars in one group. Then we have a little bit of a gap as we have a move for the lead here.
3 wide.
That's, well, I believe, not really sure. Tom Ward actually went into the leader. Daniel, my scoring is all messed up because of Daniel Tufts. Tom Ward went into the lead and Lee Hughes back down 2 positions, so good move by him. Edwards followed him through, made it 3 wide there for a little bit, and Lee Hughes just played it safe and backed out. So back to single file racing now at the front, and see how long Tom Ward can hold on to that lead.
Yeah, we'll try to see here how long Tom Ward can hold on to the lead. I don't think it's going to be very long. Simon Edwards, he's looking for a move now round the outside on Tom Ward. He can't get it done. They're all going to file in line, but we have side-by-side between Chris J. Robertson and Ewan Patterson. Actually, side-by-side between these two. They're still side-by-side off the corner as they head down and towards turn 3 and 4.
Pattinson wanting to get that 4th position back. He's gonna make that pass as well there on the inside, so nice little move by him. Pattinson back up to 4th, Robertson down to 5th. Now Pattinson picking up the hunt on Leah Hughes, who's behind Simon Edwards and Tom Ward. Ward actually able to hold that lead going down through the first corner, and now this front group has turned into 13 cars because of some battling behind them, but for a nice little single foul here, and I don't think we're going to see anything coming through the snake here either. It's just going to be Tom Ward's trying to get a good run out of the oak tree, and then Edwards and Liu's going to move up on him again, and I think we'll see some more 3-wide action. But here comes Pattinson actually having a bit of a look on Hughes, but he's not going to be close enough to make anything happen.
Oh, that's sideways.
Might try to oak tree though.
Ben Daniels very sideways. Nice save from him as they head at the top of the snake. And it is still Tom Ward leading this race out. The top group is now, oh man, we're nearly 13 cars strong here in your top group. This is one of the biggest draft trains we've seen. Simon Edwards will easily clear Tom Ward here as they head down to the end of the straightaway. Will Lear Hughes try anything as well? He is going to go with Simon Edwards. Are we going to have 3 wide once again into the final corner, or into the third to last corner? No, we're not. They're all going to stay what it looks to be just 2 by 2.
Down through the roller coaster, and Simon Edwards in the lead for the first time here. He's going to hope to try and hold it. He's actually got a little bit of a gap, but the draft down the front straightaway is going to be way too big. And meanwhile, Mark Redford has had some issues up in Oak Tree, and he's going to lose a few positions coming down the back straight. But meanwhile, at the front here comes Pattinson. He's going to have a look at Hughes in front of him. He's going to have a look to the left. Hughes is going to block. He's going to move to the right. Wood is going to have a look on Edwards as well, but he's not going to be close enough. Hughes is almost going to run into the back. Oh, Edwards backs out early, and Ward goes into lead. Hughes goes into second. I thought we were going to have a huge pile up there, but they somehow avoided all of them, and Edwards struggling out of that turn as well. Pattinson is right there. Yeah, not sure what's happening with Edwards, but he looks a bit slow.
Yeah, that was some very nice avoidance driving by those drivers to not make contact there, because that was very nearly a massive incident, and we have an off just behind them. That's the 5 of Adam Miles. We'll get a replay here for you, and we'll try to see exactly what happened to Miles. He is tumbling down the order, though.
Yeah, they just stacked up in front of him 4 cars in a row there. I believe that's McRitchie into the back of Daniels, Cox into the back of McRitchie, and then Miles into the back of him, and then he gets hit by a Fielder, so and unfortunately he paid the price there. But we saw some nose cones flying. Miles' car is a bit broken both front and back, so that's definitely going to spread this front group out as they're coming up into Oak Tree again. And from 13 cars we are now down to 7, a bit of a gap down to 8th, but that car is James McRitchie. He's the first one of those that were involved, so he's got a bit of damage on the front of that car. You can see Ben Daniels also involved in that. He's struggling to keep up. So for the lead though, it's Leigh Hughes up the inside of Tom Ward. He's going to get it. Here comes Simon Edwards. He's going to throw it up the middle. It's going to be 3 wide for a brief second there. Edwards moved past Leigh Hughes as well. He's going to have the outside into 14, down into 14A, which is the roller coaster. He's going to be on the inside, and he's going to take the lead, and Leigh Hughes is actually going to stay in second.
So nice move, nice simple move there by Simon Edwards. These guys are pretty much, this is a common occurrence here for these guys. They're side by side at the end of that straightaway and at the end of this front straightaway right here. So pretty much where these guys can get the draft, that's where they're making the move. Now we're 2 by 2, 2 deep here. Tom Ward and Ewan Patterson, they're side by side. Lear Hughes will back out, and actually he will slot in line with Simon Edwards, but they're all going at it here. Patterson wants to make a move.
He's going around the outside. He's going to get Ward clear. He's going to go around the outside of Leigh Hughes as well. He's going to be a bit sideways, though. Hughes is probably going to manage to hold on to that. He's not quite clear yet, though he is now. He's going to slot in between. So that's a good move from Pattinson there on the outside, slotting in between Ward and Leigh Hughes, moving up to 3rd. And, well, he looks on fire here today. I think he's done a lot of practice for this race, because he looks like he wants to go to the front in a hurry. Right on the back of Leigh Hughes now. See if he can get a run on him through Snake here. He might put a move on him all the way up in Oak Tree, but like you saw earlier, Edwards went from 3rd into 1st down the back straight into roller coaster, so Pattinson might be setting that up. Here they come though, up towards the Oak Tree. Leigh Hughes backs out, as does Pattinson. Ward is going to close up a little bit in through the last bit of the snake. I don't think he really want to make a move through here though, so that's a clever move by all of them. Still 7 cars in his pack as well. McRitchie is keeping up though. He's closing in slightly, so we might be 8 cars here in a minute.
Yeah, we definitely might be an 8-car train here momentarily. There is a lot of these drivers trying to make moves in this opening few laps here of this race. We're currently on lap 4, just about to go towards lap number 5. It's still Simon Edwards leading, but Lear Hughes is coming at him now. He'll go to the inside, and I think Ewan Patterson is also going to try to make a move here. He's going to stick behind Edwards for now. He seems to like that move down into turn 1 and 2, but Tom Ward, he's looking to take advantage. He'll go side by side with Pattinson into the corner.
He did, but he backed out as well. He knew he was there too late, and right behind him you have Christopher Robertson, who almost made a move as well. PM Jones is holding on to it as well. Daniels is close back up, and like we said earlier, Ritchie has caught up as well. These guys battling this hard is really slowing them down. As we're coming out to complete lap 4, here comes Simon Edwards looking to the outside of Lee Hughes. He's trying not to get too much draft. I don't think he wants to pass down here, but here comes Pattinson now. He's going to move to the outside of Edwards again. He's going to break a bit late, but he's not going to try anything, so he's going to stay in third for now. Ward is going to stay behind Pattinson as well, so they're going to keep their positions through the first part of the lap at least. Further down the field, it's really spread out a lot. We got a battle for 12th and 13th with Daryl Taylor and Mick Watson, who were side by side through turns 1 and 2, but Taylor took 12th position away from Watson. And this is a 5-car group as well, involving Kurtman, Miles, and Maltby. So Miles recovering from that first lap off, or second lap off in P15. Looking to get back in the top 10, but there's a long way to go from where he is right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're trying to make recoveries and defenses here. You can see we're side by side between Mick Watson and Daryl Taylor. They're going to go side by side through the snake. This is not the most ideal position. Taylor backs out of it. He'll give the position to Mick Watson as they head up the hill. We need to focus back here on this lead battle because they're just about to head into Oak Tree, and we're going to get another draft filled back straightaway here. You can see Patterson runs a little bit wide. That's not exactly what he would want, but he still gets a good run here, and they'll all be charging down towards that first 14A.
Edwards had a good exit from Oak Tree though. He caught Lee Hughes almost too early. Had to get out of the draft immediately. Here comes Patterson with the run. Here comes Ward with the run. He's going to go to the inside, make it 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Tom Ward going from 4th all the way to the lead. He's going to make it. Edwards is going to hold on to the lead. Patterson is going to pass Lee Hughes there as well, but Ward is going to have to settle for 2nd. So Edwards making an early move there, and that actually paid off in the end. It almost cost him the lead anyway, but he's able to hold on to it. Tom Ward up to 2nd. Patterson going sideways there through last corner, which is hog bend onto the front straight here. Edwards has got a bit of a gap now. Patterson right on the back of Tom Ward. He's going to look to the outside again. Ward is in the draft of Edwards though. Patterson going to move back in behind Ward. Here he comes. He's going to make a launch to the outside. Ward goes to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide here. Patterson backs out smartly. Ward goes into Lee. Here comes Lee Hughes to the inside of Pattinson. He's almost making a move to the outside of Edwards, but it's going to be Ward, Edwards, and Pattinson holding on to 3rd. So Lee Hughes trying to get involved there, but he had to back out again.
Yeah, has to back out one more time. Does Lear Hughes?
Ooh,
we're just
Daniels off behind.
Yep, Daniels off once again. He doesn't look to be super confident in that car, does Ben Daniels. He's had a couple of offs in this race. Maybe just trying to push a bit too hard, and because of that, he's making some mistakes. I mean, I know that happens to a lot of drivers. You know, they try to push as hard as they possibly can, but then end up making more mistakes because of it.
Yeah, he was involved in that little stack up earlier as well, so he might have slight damage to that car, and he has to push it a bit extra to be able to keep up. But for now, he's still somewhat with the train. He's going to have a bit of draft coming onto the back straightaway, so I think he will be fine as long as he can keep in a draft. He should be able to stay in the top 8 because the guys behind are about 3 seconds back, so shouldn't have to worry about them. Onto the back straightaway again though. Edwards looking to get another good exit. He's not going to be quite as good as last time, but he's going to have the draft from Tom Ward, so he's going to make a move. Let's see now, will he go left or will he go right? Ward places his car in the middle, he moves over to the right, forces Edwards to go to the left. That's going to be the outside down the roller coaster, but he's going to clear Tom Ward well before the braking zone here. Pattinson is there as well, but he's going to lift off a bit to not get a run. Lee Hughes does the same, so one pass and that's about it. I think coming into the last couple of laps we're going to see a lot more 3 and maybe 4 wide going down here, but for now they're all being pretty sensible about it.
Yeah, they're all being very sensible about their moves here thus far in the race. Nobody really wants to have any major incidents this early on, but like you said, I think we're going to definitely be seeing probably 4 wide down into the final corner come the final lap of the race. And I think right now this is all about strategic placement. We say this time and time again every single week, but that is really what these Skip Barber cars are all about. As we see Tom Ward side by side with Simon Edwards. He will go try it around the outside. Don't think he's able to make that one work. But we say this time and time again is that these Skip Barber cars are all about placement, all about strategical placement, especially at a draft track like this. But Tom Ward is side by side with Simon Edwards. They're still side by side, and Tom Ward will take over the lead. But this is all about strategic placement here at this point in the race. To just get yourself in a good spot, come to the final laps as Tom Ward takes the lead over Simon Edwards. Ian Patterson tries that down the inside. He's not able to make it work. They'll head down to Snake, and I think that Patterson may be able to get by Edwards here. He looks to be struggling just slightly.
Yeah, he is. They're really pushing hard up here now, and they've actually, these first 4 cars have pulled away from the 4 cars behind them, as we have a side-by-side for P number 7 back there. That's Daniels and McRitchie. Daniels going in the grass again as he tries to make a move, and McRitchie does not back out, and the 3 cars behind them are quickly closing in as well. So for now it's a 4-4-3, but in a couple of laps it could very well be an 11-car train again, as we're coming on to Oak Tree once again, just past halfway in the race. It's Tom Ward from Simon Edwards, Ewan Pattinson and Leah Hughes. See what they can do this time. It's spreading out very nicely behind them as well now for some reason. But here we come. Simon Edwards to the inside. We're going to cover the left this time. So Edwards going to have the inside through roller coaster. Here comes Pattinson. And he's not going to make it 3 wide. He's going to be on the inside of Tom Ward. But he's not going to make a move on Edwards. So again, they're trying to be sensible about it. Not make too much of an effort to cause a crash or lose time. So good move from Edwards, and Pattinson, I don't really know why he's doing it, but maybe he's just biding his time. Maybe he likes being in third coming onto that last lap.
Yeah, you never know what these drivers think. You know, if they can just pretty much stay in this top 4 and they don't do too much battling, then they're not going to allow first off, they're not going to allow Anthony P.M. Jones to join this battle. But Patterson, he does want to go up to second. He's side by side with Tom Ward. Now he's side by side with Simon Edwards here down into turn number 1, where 3 lied momentarily, but they will all single file out, and it looks like Patterson will go into the second position. Tom Ward down to third, and then it's Simon Edwards in fourth, Anthony P.M. Jones and James McRitchie. But if this top 4 continue to battle, all they're going to do is allow Anthony P.M. Jones to close right up, and then if he closes up and they continue to battle, then this whole next group could all form back up again, and like you said earlier, we could have an 11-car battle for the race lead.
Very well could. It's they're doing it pretty nicely for now, though, but PM Jones definitely closing in. So it's he's going to be there within a couple of laps. But Pattinson here now looking like he wants to make a move on Edwards, but he knows it's going to cost too much time. Edwards right on the back of him as well, so one mistake from Pattinson, sorry, and he's going to lose way too much time. He's going to try and have to set Edwards up through Oak Tree now, see who can get the best run. Edwards has had a good exit out of Oak Tree though throughout this whole race, but being in the lead, it doesn't really matter what you do. There is no way to stop the cars behind you from getting a run. As Pattinson goes a bit wide on the curb there, he's going to have a really bad exit. Here comes Ward next to him, and this might be why Edwards needs to be able to hold the lead. Unfortunately for him, we're not on the last lap, but Pattinson gets the draft. He's going to clear Ward again, almost anyway. But these guys are not going to be anywhere near Simon Edwards come to the end of this straight.
Yeah, Simon Edwards, he's kind of clear checked out right now. He's 0.7 of a second ahead of this group here. And he is, like you said, nowhere near, but that's not what he wants. I think he just kind of backed up. Yeah, he did. He kind of backed up a little bit into the corner to allow Tom Ward to close up a little bit. That is smart moves there from Simon Edwards, because when you do that, what you allow is the driver behind you to get up closer to you and not get as big of a slipstream effect, which we know is incredibly big in these Skippys. So these drivers, they don't want to give each other all the amount of draft that they can, but it doesn't seem to make too much of an effect here because Ewan Patterson is attacking Tom Ward.
He is. He's not going to make a move though. He's going to nicely sit behind him, try and let Ward catch back up to Simon Edwards, and he's right back on the back of him now. So it's a 5-car train once again as PM Jones has closed up to these guys as well. Ben Daniels and James McRitchie about 1.5 seconds behind at the line that time by, but they are slowly closing in as well. So 4 laps to go. We're 2/3 of the way through this race, And it doesn't look like there is going to be 11 cars come the end of this race, but might very well be 7, because the 2 cars back behind him, Ben Daniels and James McRitchie, they've shown some great speed, and these last few laps they have been the fastest cars on the track, so they're definitely closing in. As we see Pattinson again right on the back of Tom Ward, who's backing off a little bit to not run into the back of Edwards or be too close to him coming into Oak Tree, because Ward obviously wants to have the optimal line through there and not do what Pattinson did last time and hit the curb and get loose. So playing it smart. Coming up here now around the little kink first, and then the right-hander around the massive Oak Tree. And a lot better exit there for Tom Ward than we had last lap, so expect to see Tom Ward to go in the lead here now. Edwards covering the left side to begin with. Ward is slowly creeping up on him. We're halfway down the straightaway, and here he comes now. He's got the overspeed. He's going to make a dive to the inside. Pattinson is way too far back to be able to get involved, though I think. He's going to get there, but he's going to back out, and Lius is not going to have anything for them either. PM Jones backs out early as well. Tom Ward into the lead, and Edwards slotting into second.
Yeah, Simon Edwards slots into second place. Tom Ward leads, and it's Ian Patterson down in third here as we work through lap number 9 on to lap 10 here as we head out of the final corner, and we will see lap 10 in the books. That will be 3 laps to go. This time by here from VIR, side by side for the race lead. It's Tom Ward and Simon Edwards. Edwards on the outside, Ward on the inside, and they'll still be side by side as they go down to 1, but Simon Edwards takes the lead once again here on lap number 10.
Good move by him. Seems to be where he wants to be. I don't think he's going to do that on the last lap though, because he knows if he's in the lead going onto the back straightaway, it's definitely not going to end up in victory lane for him.
Yeah, definitely not what he wants to be doing on the final lap of the race, but something that you could certainly do now at this point in the race. You've got several laps to sort yourself out, and that's just one of the things that they can play around with a little bit here on these earlier stages. Where can I make a move? Where are my competitors kind of weak in comparison to me? And that's where I will attack on the final lap of the race. Tom Ward, by the way, has the fastest lap of the race at a 2:06.996. He just did that on the last lap. So Tom Ward, very, very quick indeed, and he is looking very fierce for this race win.
They've definitely picked the pace up now. McRitchie and Ben Daniels have dropped off again, so they're not going to catch up if they keep this up. About 2.5 laps to go now, on to the back straight for the third to final time. And Tom Ward has got a good run on Simon Edwards. He's going to start closing up right about that white line right there, and here he comes. He's going to launch it to the left again, so Edwards going to have the inside through roller coaster. Pattinson is going to get there. This time though, he's going to back out. He's not, because Lius is right on the back of him. He can't really back out. Lius has to back out though, because he doesn't have any room. He's going to move up next to Pattinson, who's not brave enough. They're almost going to be 3 wide through there. Edwards is going to be ahead though. Pattinson is going to hold Lius off as well. Lius is going to have the inside for the final turn. He's definitely not going to give him anything here. He wants that third position. This is going to back them away from the leading pair. Pattinson going to hold on to that though, and here comes PM Jones now for the first time in a very long time. He's going to be anywhere but P5 as he's going to the outside of Lee Hughes, and he has a good run. Hughes has the draft though from Pattinson, so he's going to be able to hold on to that 4th position. Meanwhile, Ward is blocking the inside ahead from Simon Edwards, and Pattinson is blocking the middle from Lee Hughes. 2 by 2, Ward is going to get the lead, and Pattinson is going to hold off Lee Hughes just barely. Hughes has still got the overlap though. He's going to have the inside through NASCAR bend. They're going to be neck and neck. He's going to be later on the brakes, and Lee Hughes up to 3rd.
And he's still fighting. This is not what these guys need to be doing, because all it's doing is just growing the gap to your race leaders. Now, they were able to close down a little bit through turn 1 and 2, but if your race leaders get another big jump like that and they're not fighting down and towards turn 1 and 2, that is going to be a huge help to them, and that's all they need. They need one of those times to break the draft, and then once you break the draft, it's nearly impossible to gain it back, as they're still side by side as they head up through the S's here. Patterson trying to get by Lear Hughes, but he's not able to do it. Wow, this is close stuff here with 2 laps to go in the event.
It's almost rallycross racing there from Lee Hughes, defending that position, sliding back and forth, jumping over the curb. Pattinson, I don't really know why he wants to make it past her, because if they go side by side, the front 2 are gone. But here we come. Second till final time down the straightaway. Tom Ward has got a bit of a gap to Edwards, but he's going to get in that draft, and now is where Ward is going to hit his maximum speed. So here comes Simon Edwards with the draft. He's going to close right up on him. Ward as well, he's going to give him the left side. And Edwards is pretty much going to clear him before the braking zone. Hughes is not going to get anywhere near them though. And Pattinson is there as well. Hughes is actually going to make a late dive, but Ward blocks it off. So Hughes is still in third, Pattinson in fourth, and PM Jones nicely holding off back there in fifth position, not getting involved in anything. Yeah, I just don't think he's able to. I think these guys are too fast. But coming to the white flag onto the final lap is Simon Edwards, Tom Ward, Leah Hughes, and Ewan Pattinson. And Pattinson is really close to Hughes here. He's going to have a look. He wants to go to the inside, but he's going to be forced to the outside. Tom Ward, though, is backing off. He doesn't want to make a pass on Edwards because he obviously wants to be in second coming onto that straightaway. Edwards moves wide to give Tom Ward the inside. Hughes almost run into the back of Tom Ward. Pattinson around the outside. It's contact. Pattinson goes wide, and Hughes is up into third. And Ward definitely wants that second position.
Yeah, he wants to be the one to attack here on that back straightaway, but he's going to have to defend it from these other guys because they want to be in that exact same position. It was almost an amazing move from your Patterson around the outside, but he couldn't make it work. Got a little bit of contact with Tom Ward, and that sent him back now into fourth place. So now he's got to make up not one, but two positions if he wants to be in that second spot. Heading onto the back straightaway, will anyone be able to beat Simon Edwards here from VIR? It's side by side between Ewan Patterson and Leah Hughes up through the snake here. Patterson not backing out of it now, and he will take the third position as Hughes gets pushed wide, and he will have to resent that position from Ewan Patterson.
What a move by Pattinson there, bravely passing him through the snake. Now he's right on the back of Tom Ward, and I think Pattinson, if he gets a good exit here, he's in the best position. And I think maybe Lewis, if he's brave enough, can throw it 4 wide, but it doesn't get a good enough exit. Here they come down the straight. Ward doesn't get a run on Edwards. I think he's actually backing Pattinson up a little bit to be the only one to get a run, but here comes Pattinson on Tom Ward. Tom Ward is going to get a run on Edwards, but Pattinson is going to block him in. He's going to have to go to the grass. Here comes Pattinson on the inside. Ward goes airborne. He's going to lose the car. Pattinson into the lead. He's going to clear Edwards before roller coaster and uses sideways on the brakes. That was really clever by Pattinson, blocking Tom Ward, forcing him to go to the right and into the grass. So Ewan Pattinson with an amazing move. Here he comes into the final 2 corners. Simon Edwards has got nothing for him, but remember, the start finish line is way down the straightaway. I don't think it's going to be enough though. Here comes Ewan Pattinson, last few meters to the finish line. Edwards is going to get a run, but it's not going to be enough. It's Pattinson to Edwards, and PM Jones does not get Leah's using fourth. Jones in fourth, using third, sorry, and Tom Ward comes home in fifth. That was an outstanding finish.
Yeah, what an outstanding finish that one was, and we'll just watch the final few drivers to come across the start finish line. We'll get a replay of that for you whenever we come back here on RaceSpotTV, but we will just wait for kind of everyone to come across the line, and then we will quickly go to an ad break here on RaceSpotTV, and we'll get your post-race interviews and such done. So as we just finish and we see drivers go through their typical endings. We'll
Neil
be right
Stevenson
back.
And Paul Carrier here racing for P number 29 coming down the end of the straightaway. So I think that's the only battle we still got going. The rest of the field was pretty spread out, and it looks like nothing's going to happen there either. So be right back. Stay with us.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your file.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all his work here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Welcome back to Virginia International Raceway and the post-race show of a pretty outstanding race. A lot of passing and an amazing last lap move there from Ewan Patterson. But we're going to start with Simon Edwards, who came home in second for the 2nd week in a row, if not even more. Simon, that was a pretty interesting race with a lot of tactics going on at the end, as usual.
Yeah, unfortunately, you never really know where you're going to come in that scenario. You can lead and you can win because people can get a bit tangled up at the end of the straight, or somebody might try and overtake you on the grass. One of those two. But every race this week I've come second, so it's just my usual.
Well, that's unfortunate, but pretty good move. I don't know how much you saw of what Pattinson did behind you, but it was a pretty clever move, blocking Tom Ward, pretty much forcing him onto the grass. So, don't know if you've been out there, but it looked a bit rough for him. So, I think you all got lucky to finish. But other than that, how was the racing, and how easy is it to position yourself for that last lap? Where do you ideally want to be?
Ideally, depending on the people in front of you, 3rd is the best place to be. But you can make 2nd work as well, and you can even win from, if there's only 2 of you, you can win from being leading as well. Just depends on your exit on that corner, and if you can stay inside for the corner. I can't remember.
Well, from one of the biggest tracks on the circuit to the absolute biggest track on the circuit next week, the Nürburgring Nordschleife 3 laps. How are you looking forward to that one?
It's going to be very interesting because the The practice session is the qualifying session, so it's going to be a mega mixed up grid. I've no idea how the first lap's going to go.
Well, that's right, 110 minutes of qualifying next week. That'll be interesting. 3 laps racing. So hope to see you then, and congrats on second place. You want to give any shout outs?
Give a shout out to my sponsor, Masternaut. They're helping with they do logistics and tracking systems and things like that, so they're helping with the current situation to keep those running, keep everybody's deliveries on time and things. So shout out to them.
Good, thanks for joining us and stay safe. We'll see you next week. Next up is Dave Kirkman, who had a pretty outstanding battle all race long with Peter Cohen, and you ended up beating him for P11. Dave, tell us about your race.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm glad I finished because I haven't finished a race for a while now, thanks to a number of incidents.
Well, congrats on that then.
Yeah, so I'm quite happy just to finish. But yeah, it was a really, really good battle with Peter there for the last 5 laps or so. We were kind of working together. I was allowing him past at the end of the straight, and then he was allowing me past at the end down into turn 1. And then obviously it's a fight of survival really for the last lap of who's going to be going into the lead, and obviously no one wants to give in on the corner. So yeah, he just kind of just caught the back of me as I went into the corner. I was just in front of him, but yeah, we both made it round thankfully. And yeah, I think Dowell, unfortunately, it was 3 wide around that corner at one stage, and he unfortunately ran off. But it was a good race. I'm pleased to actually have a race where I didn't get taken out. So yeah, it's good fun to be back in where I really want to be after a fairly poor qualifying as well, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, he drove up from 22nd, if I'm correct, up to P11, so that's a pretty big gain. Peter Cohen as well from 27th. But ask you as well, from one of the biggest tracks to the biggest track, the Nordschleife for next week, what's your expectations for that one? It's a pretty special event.
Yeah, I hate it. I think it's probably the worst track on iRacing, but we'll give it a go, and we'll see where we come. But I mean, I'm expecting carnage, to be honest. It's more like a rally stage than it is a racetrack, really. But yeah, we'll see. It's just a bit of fun. I'm not this season. I'm not really interested in the championship. I'm just having fun, really. So we'll see where we go. Last season, it was more interesting because I was fighting to get in the top 10 in the championship. But because I had so many bad races, I'm kind of just trying to have as much fun as possible again.
Well, try and learn as much as possible then. You want to give any shout outs to anybody?
I'll give a shout out to my girlfriend Julie. She always watches this when I'm racing, so she's my biggest fan. So that's and you guys, of course, for doing this.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us, and hope to see you next week as well.
Yep. Yeah, I'll see you next week, guys.
And to everybody else, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks, Tyler, for helping out tonight. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place, same channel. Nürburgring Nordschleife for 3 laps. That's going to be something to look forward to. See you then. Have a good night and stay safe.